Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we're going to handle the topic of hayd and nifas. Hayd means a period, menstruation. Nifas means postpartum, the blood, a cause of birth giving. Okay? We start with the matter of hayd, a period. It is a dirty blood that gushes from the uterus of the woman in a certain particular times. Allah created it for a great wisdom. A great wisdom. It is a nutrition and food for the children in his mother's womb. Of course, if God wants the child to be provided without this, he can make a different system. But Allah wants to tell us that this is life. The nature of life is misery. And there is an end for this misery. Whereas the other life, there is no misery. And it's lasting, everlasting life. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this system and that blood to be a supplement for the child when he was in the womb of his mother, and after that when giving him the milk. That is why her period terminates when she becomes pregnant. And the Prophet ﷺ saw Aisha crying when she had this period. Why? Because she was performing Hajj with the Prophet, and that was the only Hajj that the Prophet performed. Only one time of Hajj. So she was crying. The Prophet said, "What is the matter with you? Anafisti? Did you become having the period?" Then she said, "Yes." Then the Prophet said, "This is something that Allah had already ordained on the daughters of Adam." On the daughters of Adam. So, which means it is not a punishment as we find in the Bible. That God said to Eve, "Your blood period, it is a punishment for you." Or, okay, if we say she was punished because she obeyed her husband Adam to eat from the tree. But what is the guilt of her daughters? All along until the day of judgment. Oh, come on. Why they had to be punished for the sin of their mother? That's unfair and illogic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it forbidden on men to approach their wives, okay, while they have the period. As we find in this ayah, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْمَحِيضِ قُلْ هُوَ أَذَى فَاعْتَزِلُوا النِّسَاءَ فِي الْمَحِيضِ وَلَا تَقْرَبُوهُنَّ حَتَّى يَطْهُرْنَ. And they ask you regarding mahid, menstruation, say it is a matter of harm. It is harmful. So isolate yourselves with women and do not approach them until they get purified. Now wait a minute. We find in the Bible also that it says in the Old Testament, if a woman had the period, she is dirty. If she touches anything, becomes dirty. If she sits on a chair, the chair becomes dirty, and it should be washed. And it will not become pure until the sun sets. Even if you wash the chair at the daytime, the chair is still dirty until the sun sets. I don't know what is the relevance between the sun setting and the purification of the chair. Until now, I couldn't find any solution for this. And no one will do. Believe me. So, if she sits upon the chair, the chair becomes dirty. If she touches the wall becomes dirty. Anything she touches becomes dirty. And it will not be clean until the sun sets. So, I wonder how a woman will be cooking when she has the period. Will her husband be able to eat from her food if she's dirty? So, does the ayah resemble this thing that we find in the Bible? The answer is no. Because the ayah is ambiguous. It has an ambiguous, yani undetailed circumstance or explanation for this. We find in the book of the Sunnah, like Bukhari and Muslim, when the Prophet was asked about approaching women when they had the period, the Prophet said, do everything except nikah. Nikah means sometimes marriage, and nikah means sometimes the full sexual intercourse. That means the two parts are getting involved. This is what it means. So the Prophet said, do everything except nikah. That means do everything except the two private parts should not be touching one another when she has the period. That is why when the Jews heard this, they got mad at the Prophet. Because, you know, the Jews used to be living in Medina. There were big numbers of tribes of Jewish people. They said, this man had not left anything that we say, but he opposes us. They got angry with him. Okay. So in this explanation, it contains a correction to the Jewish notion that if your wife became pregnant, having the period, then she is dirty. Completely dirty. Anything she touches is dirty. That's not true. When the Prophet ordered his wife to bring him the carpet of prayer, she said, I have the period. Then the Prophet corrected her and said, your period is not in your hand. Your period is not in your hand. This is correction. Okay. Okay, so where do we find this in the Bible? It's in the book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 21. Read it and you'll find it. Okay? Anything she touches becomes dirty, and it will not return to be pure. Even if you wash it, it will not become pure until the sun sets. I don't know what kind of maybe the sun contains Ariel, downy, I don't know. Anyway, the time of the period cannot be defined. Okay, that when it will start to begin, it cannot be defined. In hot countries such as the peninsula, I know that girls become mature and they start to have the period when they are 9 years old, whereas in Scandinavian countries such as Denmark or etc., sometimes girls reach the age of 18 and they did not have this period. Okay. The color of the blood of period blood, it is conditional that the blood should be having one of those colors. Number one, black, because the Prophet said to Fatima bint Hubaysh, if you start to have the blood of menstruation, it is black known. It is black known. That means women know it. Second, it will be red, and this is the origin of the blood. Third, kidra. Now, I don't know how to say it in English, but I'll describe to you what does it mean. That means it will be in the middle between the white and the black. We call it kidra. Okay? That means it is the last stages of her purification. Last stages of period, which is a sign at the same time that she is getting purified from it. We call it sufra, yellowish, kidra. There's something between black and white. Okay? Atiyah said, we used not to give any consideration after purification. When we see those two colors, we used not to give it any consideration. That means purification is still, they are still pure. They are still on the state of purity when they see these two colors. yellowish, and kidra, which is between white and black. The period of hayd, period, menstruation, there is no minimum time for it. Nothing has been assessed. And it differs, due to the variety of women. And there is no purity period between the two menstruations. Also, there is no definition. But women know, every woman knows her own period when it comes. She knows it. As we come back, we come to the subject of postpartum, which is nifas, blood birth. Okay, it is the blood that gushes out of the woman because of birth, delivery, and the most period of it is 40 days, but there is no minimum period for it. Let's say, for example, she gave her baby today, and next day she doesn't see any blood. Okay, in this case, we say, khalas, she's pure. She has to pray. Okay, but the maximum period is 40 days. Let's say that she kept seeing the blood after the 40 days, it doesn't matter. After 40, she should be counting 40 days, and after 40, any kind of blood that she sees after the 40 days, she should give it no consideration. She bathe herself and perform salah. Okay? That is why there's a good thing with the matter of the delivery, giving her birth. We know that if a woman is divorced, okay, she should be waiting 3 periods or 3 months until she becomes able to marry another one, if she got divorced. But if she was divorced while she was pregnant, then her iddah, the period for women to spend between husband and another husband, now the delivery is the end of the period. Let's give an example. All right, she was pregnant when her husband divorced her. Next day she delivered the baby. Finish. She can marry a husband, okay, at the same day. At the same day she can marry another husband. At the same day. But we know, there's another point here, that he should not be touching her until she'll be purified from her blood. Okay, which is, as we know, 40 days. He can touch her. But we're talking, what do you mean by the touch here is the meeting between the two private parts. Anything other than that, he can do. What is forbidden on the woman that has the period or the blood birth? Okay, it is forbidden on them to perform the prayer. Even if she performed the prayer, it is not accepted from her. She is not rewarded. Okay, if she has the period and she said, all right, I could not pray at that time, but I can make it up after I finish my period, we say no. One woman came to Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, and said to her, what is the matter with a woman? When she has the period, she can make up her fasting, but she does not make up her praying. So Aisha said to her, are you Khawarij? Anti Haruriya? Haruriya means those extremist people, just like today saying ISIS. Are you extremist? She said, no, I'm not extremist, but I'm asking. She said, this is how the revelation came to the Prophet from Allah, that those women who break some days of fasting because of their pregnancy or etc., okay, they can break and make up other days, but they do not make up the days of praying. So it is a matter of worship. And that is indicative and evident against those who use their mind, okay, in opposition to the book and the sunnah. Okay? Fasting, as I said, no, she should not be fasting. It is also forbidden on the man to intercourse with her, except what I mentioned before. The Prophet, peace be with him, when his wife has the period, he used to be putting on her private part, a garment, a piece of cotton, or anything, garment, let's say garment, and then he does everything except that at that place. Okay? There is nothing wrong. There's no matter of shyness in terms of mentioning these things, because they are important for especially women to know. They may not be having always the chance to ask men about these things. So there's no matter of shyness regarding that. Now, this is concerning the period. The period is of two categories: true period and a fake period. What we mentioned before is the true period. Now, what we are going to mention now is the fake period, and that is the continuous pouring of the blood in the time other than the postpartum and the menstruation. Okay? So for the one who has the fake period, or a woman which her period of blood had terminated, that means 40 days, it reached 40 days, postpartum. If it exceeded the 40 days, then this is a fake blood. It is a fake blood. She does not, she should not be giving any care about it. Okay? She purify herself from that. She can perform wudu after purifying herself, or preferably to take ghusl, bathing. Preferably. But it's not obligatory. Alright? Likewise is the matter of the period, menstruation. It's preferably for her if she wants to take a bath, okay, when she has this fake blood, fake period. But if she purify herself and then she takes ablution, wudu, then that is good enough. It is good enough. Well, what about her husband? Can he intercourse with her? Yes, everything. Everything. It's not haram. It's not forbidden. Okay? Being disgusted from that because the blood is still involved, that's another issue. What you disgust does not mean necessarily that it is forbidden. There's something that you disgust to do it, but it doesn't mean it's forbidden. Okay? In this case, if a woman has a lot of blood that gushes, which is not the blood of the period, then it is preferable for her that she waits until just minutes before the end of Salat al-Dhuhr, for example, noon prayer, just at the end of it, before the edge of the prayer, the last edge of time, okay, she performs Salat al-Dhuhr, she purify herself, taking wudu or ghusl if she wants, performing Salat al-Dhuhr, and waiting just maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes until Salat al-Asr will be called for. Then she performs Salat al-Asr. What may have been pouring while it is being well suppressed and covered well, what will be pouring from the private part in that period of time, it doesn't matter. It doesn't harm. So she can pray Dhuhr and Asr together. Yeah. If it's a morning time, Fajr, she can't combine between Fajr and Dhuhr. No. Okay? She can't make any kind of combining. There's no combining. This happens between Dhuhr and Asr and between Maghrib and Isha. Okay? But despite that, she can pray, she can fast, she can be approached by her husband because she has a fake period. The third issue, as I said, when she finds that this blood is not clear whether it is fake or true blood, she knows her period. If this happens in her period, so that means that she has the true period. Okay? So, as a conclusion, we say if she finds blood, but it is not black, it is not smelly, it is not at the time of her regular period, then that means this is a fake blood. She can pray, she can fast, she can be approached by her husband. Okay. That's why Ibn Abbas said regarding the woman that has a fake blood, he said, the fake blood woman, okay, her husband can approach her. The matter of the prayer is greater, which means if the husband can approach her, intercourse with her, that means she can pray. The matter of the prayer is ever greater than the matter of intercourse. Okay? Yeah. Despite her bleeding. I repeat, despite her bleeding. Okay? Because that blood is a fake. We're talking about what is allowed. Okay? You may not like it, that's another issue. But it doesn't mean what you don't like should be considered forbidden. Okay. Also, it had been narrated authentically that Habiba, she used to be having this fake blood extremely, and her husband used to be from time to time intercoursing with her. Okay. And also Sa'id ibn Jubair, he was asked, the one who has the fake blood, can she be intercoursed? He said, yes. The prayer is ever greater than intercoursing. As for the matter of wudu, it is obligatory on her if she has the fake blood for every salah. Okay? Unless she makes the visual kind of combining. It is not true combining. It looks like combining while it's not, because the woman is waiting until the last period, just a couple of minutes before the adhan of Asr, the last period of Dhuhr, just 2-3 minutes before the adhan of Asr. She performs Dhuhr and she waits until she hears the adhan of Asr, then she performs Asr. This looks like combination while it's not combination in a matter of fact. What is combination? Combination is to perform Salatul Dhuhr in the time of Salatul Asr, to delay or to proceed. We're talking about the traveler here. The traveler can perform Salatul Asr at the time of Dhuhr, then he takes his way to travel. So this is the real combining. But the visual, fake combining is that, like this woman or someone who has continuous urinating, he can't stop it. He has no control. There are many people who have this disease. So what do they do? It is important for them to purify themselves, the private part, okay? Put something, then perform Dhuhr just 2 minutes before Asr. As he is praying Dhuhr, he hears the adhan of Asr, then he performs Salatul Asr. So that makes it easier for him and more facilitating, okay? The woman who has the period, she can read the Quran. Okay? What about touching the Quran? I haven't until now seen any clear evidence, okay, that makes it forbidden on women to touch the Quran while they are while they have the period. We also remember that the Prophet, when Aisha cried and she said, I have the period, the Prophet said to her, you can make tawaf, okay, but you do not pray, okay? Okay. The other thing is, so she was doing everything, all ceremonies of Hajj, okay, and then, but she was not praying. We say that, but it doesn't mean that it is okay to read the Quran without being on the state of purity. No, it's always better. and important. But we can't say to the woman, you're not allowed to read the Quran, you're not allowed to touch the Quran. Okay, some of them, they think that they're not allowed even to remember Allah, which is not true. By that, we come to the end of the whole subject about purification. Next episode, inshallah, we start with the matter of adhan and prayer and so on. جزاكم الله خيرا وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين.